Hey guys, what is going on? Kevin Goki back with another cryptocurrency video. Today we're going to be covering Ripple XRP, and this is just a review and some thoughts on and speculation on why the Japanese are going to lead this XRP revolution. I understand this article is a little old. I'm actually going to be referring back to some articles in the spring as well, and I want to draw some conclusions that we've seen in the market already, and hopefully this is very valuable for you guys. If this is the first time to the channel, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you like what you see. And just a side note, I absolutely am just going to kind of speed read through this, so if at any time I'm speaking a little slow, feel free to put this video on 2x speed, just so you can get through it faster. That's what I do with a lot of videos that I watch, just kind of like speed reading, I guess, but some people don't like it. But again, it's just my advice if you want to watch a video a little faster to keep up with the news. But alright guys, so anyways, this article, XRP, Japan will lead the Ripple revolution. $589 is an achievable target. Created by Nicholas. Again, he has some quotes in here. Everything to my understanding is pretty viable, and I just want to cover some points. So anyways, it goes on to say that Japan obviously is the third largest economy in the world, and arguably the most technologically advanced on the planet. Now, I truly wish I live in the United States. I wish that we were, as versatile and adapted and actually really like to explore newer technologies. But again, the Japanese are very intelligent people. I love their food, and they have actually always kind of been more so technologically advanced and taking the initiative to go into that space. So, back in September, we already know that Japan's Ministry of Finance approved the Money Tap application, more so a system that helps, that'll help everyday people in the Japanese economy. It's really just a joint venture between Ripple and SBI Holdings, and it's going to allow free real-time cash transfers between all users of those banks in Japan. So right now it was already implemented with 3 mid-level banks in the country, and I've already covered MoneyTap in the past, but again, stay with me here because I want to cover some additional topics and information. So these are the banks that have a direct impact on people's everyday lives. And this is obviously going to play a huge role in adoption of XRP going into the future because you need people to be familiar with it already. And I think if we go to the retail space, it's going to get that attention, which will incentivize the institutions to truly adopt it going forward. And again, you know that SBI is one of the platforms that announced it'll also be going live with XRapid. And that should be happening any day now. So SBI, through its consortium, essentially has an influence over close to 80% of all Japanese banks, of the entire banking industry. So, if we're saying that they have an influence over 80%, when SBI, which has already been quoted to promise they're going live with XRapid, it's safe to say that it's going to start using XRP in more and more cross-border payments. And if Japan is trading and they're the third largest economy and they're saving money and they're doing all of these settlements in real time, it's going to incentivize other countries to do that. And it is the domino effect. A lot of other YouTubers have covered this. Jungle Inc. was spot on. This is truly the domino effect on all of these other institutions and countries. So obviously we know the Japanese banking industry has a huge influence over all of the other banks in the world, especially in the southeast region. And again, in terms of America, Japan is one of our closest allies and trading partners. So once Japanese go live with XRapid, it's going to have an insane influence on the other Japanese allies, which include the United States, to do the exact same thing. And that's because most banks in the US and other Western economies also have strong ties with the Japanese banking industry. Besides, in the interest of harmonized business, regulators, honestly, and all other major economies are going to find it, they're almost going to be rushed to keep up with the Japanese. And if the US gets on board, which they might be a little slow, they're usually in the middle in terms of adoption on the technological side. But I think we're going to be right up there. Again, I know that the US has an interest in XRP, knowing that it's all pre-mined and there's additional benefits. I'm also a big fan of Bitcoin long-term as well, but to make the most money, this is my opinion, do not take it for advice. I think that XRP will, give me the most returns as an investor, even though I'm just I'm just as excited in this technology as well. Excuse me for stuttering, guys. It's been a long day at work. But again, with SBI Holdings going live, I'm very excited to see what other corridors are open. I know that we have a few right now, but I still know it's in the testing phase. I'm going to do a little video on over-the-counter trading as well. I had a guy comment on my video, cool guy, and just kind of asking for more information, which actually piqued my interest. So I did a lot of research, and we'll probably do a short video on that as well. And again, this is going to take XRP that much closer to becoming the standard for cross-border payments. And I really think it's going to pick up quickly. And once we see this, and obviously it's already a multi-trillion-dollar market that it's penetrating, it's really going to skyrocket. And here we go. You're going to hate me, but even that 589 valuation, the legendary bearable guy prediction, is not that far off when you truly look at, what's going on in the space. And this is only with XRapid use cases. We're not even talking about the smart contract platform of Codius. We're not talking about the future of Xspring. None of that. And another side thing I just want to cover is, even the ATMs that are becoming readily available in Japan for XRP. We also have that other initiative, WireX, which is a UK-based debit card company provider. It's just, the liquidity and the doors to entry, the barrier to entry is getting easier and easier. And if you've been in the space for maybe the past 6 months or a year, you remember how confusing it was getting your first Coinbase account, buying it, going to Coinbase Pro or GDAX back in the day, and then just finding it to your exchange, which, in the past when I was new, I used Binance and, a few others, Bittrex. But the barrier to entry is going to get easier and easier. And that's absolutely what I want to stress, because I think we're forgetting about these past events. We're looking at all the current news, but if we take that current news, look at the past events, we can honestly see what's going to happen in the future. We can almost extrapolate what will be happening. So I do want to go over one other article really quick here, because this is very, very interesting. So we already know this was on March 1st. This is the older one that I wanted to stress. 47 Japanese banks moved towards commercial phase using Ripple. So they've already, in the spring, they had this vision. They were already talking about commercializing. They said XRapid would be going live into production by end of year. So again, SBI Ripple Asia announced that a consortium of 47 banks have successfully completed a pilot implementation of Ripple in Japan using a cloud-based payment platform. Okay, and it's powered by Ripple's solution, and this is the first in the world to enable real-time money transfers domestically and internationally. The first in the world. This is huge. And I know this was back in March. I know the price of XRP hasn't skyrocketed yet, but you have to understand the laying of a foundation with something this big in the financial industry. So as a result, the consortium has confirmed that it will move into commercial phase. Now this is huge. This is massive, guys. And again, even, let's see what here. Brad Garlinghouse says, this is a concrete example that our solution is already transforming how money is sent around the world. This is, honestly, guys, I've never been more excited. And what you have to understand is, it even says this in the article if you go and, read this. The consortium also plans to connect with banks globally, continuing to expand the Ripple network. And it's funny that the company's name is Ripple, because I think that, even one country or corridor with the majority of the Japanese market is going to have a rippling effect on all other countries, especially with the high levels of trade, and incentivize them to jump on as well, because they're going to demonstrate those cost savings. So it's truly going to be a domino effect. And if you're really into it and you're into the Japanese market, you can come down on this list, and they actually provide the consortium bank members. I'm sure Crypto Addy could cover this very well, and I'm sure she's probably covered topics on this again, but I just wanted to add my 2 cents, because I think we're here so early. We're forgetting about all of the news that came back to us in spring, Q1, Q2, and we have to tie it back to the now. We can't just look forward. We can't just look at the news now. We have to tie it back. That's why I'm a big fan of, Sam I Am, because he's really looking at the past. He's looking at the articles. He's looking at the history of SAP and Temenos and just, back-end software gateways for XRP to use the distributed ledger. I'm fascinated, and I think the Japanese is going to lead the march in terms of this. And that is why I titled the video that XRP will be thanking Japan, because I see a bright future for this, and I'm very, very excited to see this $10 end of year prediction by Kitao, the CEO of SBI Ripple, or SBI Holdings, excuse me. And will we see, a $10 to $20 XRP? Will we see 50 cents? Will we see 3 digits? I have all kinds of ideas, and I constantly change my mind. That's the sign of an intelligent mind. You have to be able to look at both sides, the good and bad. Either way, I see a huge future for Ripple XRP, massive, and I'm here for the long haul. And it's really going to depend, because if I do see a 3-4 digit XRP, I'm really not sure if I could hold all of it. I would definitely be taking out portions and try to keep holding, but again, we're in waters that we've never even been on, so very exciting times, guys. With that, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this information about the Japanese and why the Japanese are going to lead this crypto march, and I wholeheartedly believe that thanks to Japan and a few other corridors for XRP and XRapid going live, that we're going to see some significant growth by end of year, if not early Q1. Because this is going into commercialization, it's into production now, and we're going to start seeing that volume shortly. I'm going to do a quick video over, on the OTC trading, over-the-counter trading, and perhaps some of the price influences that we can still see on XRP, even though it's, a little hidden. And I think that, you can only keep something like this hidden for so long, and I'm very excited for what's yet to come. Thanks so much.